back then, what qualified you as a right-winger was simply to disagree with international socialism. Remember, the Communist Manifesto begins, workers of the world unite. Is this idea that nation states were going to crumble away, religion was going to crumble away, and the most important paradigm through which to look, or the most important prism through which to look at society was class. And the assumption the Marxists had was that a factory worker in Cleveland was going to have the same affinity and fellow feeling and solidarity with a factory worker in the Ukraine than he would with his own manager on the shop floor in his own factory in Cleveland. And the reality is that most people want to belong to the culture they grew up in. They want to be Americans, or they want to be Germans, or they want to be Italians. They don't want to take orders from Moscow. They don't want to be seen as sort of enslaved to a foreign ideology. But they still might like socialism. And so what you saw was a lot of people saying, you know, my factory manager, sure, he's part of the ruling classes or the petite bourgeoisie or whatever the term of the phrase was, but our kids play soccer together. My sister's married to his brother. We went to the same school. We go to the same church. You know, why can't I have socialism where I don't have to see him as the enemy? And so you have emerging a national socialism, which defined itself in terms of nationalism. And we still have this vestigial idea that nationalism is a right-wing phenomenon. And that's not how it grew up out of the Enlightenment. It was always considered as part of a sort of a liberal progression and all of the rest. And besides, even today, we have all these unquestioned assumptions in the terminology that we talk about, say, for example, economics. When you nationalize an industry, what do? You socialize it. When you socialize an industry, you nationalize it. They're the same thing. You know, Hugo Chavez is this hero to the left today, in much the same way Mussolini was a hero to the left in America, 70 years ago, because he's socializing his industry, or he's nationalizing his industry. These are distinctions without a difference. They're the same thing.